Jason, episode 7 of the Cream podcast. We're rolling right along in 2022. How's your 2022 going so far?
It's going good. I'm very excited what's happening in 2022, where it upholds and the future that it's going to bring. I think this is going to be the best year ever. I know this is about to be the best year of my life.
Absolutely. I love the positivity. And I love it that you're helping so many other people. So it's going to be the best year for your clients, your family, your friend, and your community as well. So we're all in this together, and that's why we're doing the Cream podcast. So now, Jason, what we have are your economic predictions for 2022. In episode number 6, last week, we actually recapped what you got right and wrong in 2021. And you came out a winner, but it wasn't, you didn't blow them away. You were 6-5 there. So for 2022, you have 7 very important, very specific, and well thought out predictions for the economy. So go ahead and share those with us.
Definitely. So last year, I would say I was a wild card team in the NFC. But this year, I'm about to be the conference leader and win the conference with these predictions. So my first prediction is I believe inflation is going to continue or get worse in 2022. Also, another prediction is I believe the supply chain issues are going to keep being challenging. It's going to keep going, especially right now where we're seeing conflicts, world conflicts happening and erupting. Another thing is I think we're going to see more and more stock market volatility. We did see in the month of December. Yeah. I think we're going to continue to see a lot more market volatility as we do see more inflation and the federal government and the Federal Reserve try to figure out how to fix inflation.
Okay.
Finally, I've been talking about it for a while, and I've been wrong for a while, but I think this is the year we're actually going to see more foreclosures and evictions. I know a lot of people might get mad when they hear this, but I do believe that the Republicans is going to win big in 2022 during the midterm elections, based off of historical data and where our country is headed to right now.
Yeah. And,
people are going to be mad for that prediction. Some people are going to love it, but it's my prediction.
Yeah, you're just calling them. You're calling balls and strikes like you see it. You're not picking a side. You're just telling us what you think is going to happen in the economy, huh?
Definitely. And I also think they're going to see more conflict between federal government and states. We're seeing tons of lawsuits right now between the state level about the power that the state should have compared to the federal government. And I think it's going to be actually get worse. This actually will be a great time to be a constitutional law attorney right now, to see what it would be. If I could do it again, if I might want to be considered a constitutional lawyer during this period of time, because I think it's a great time to be a constitutional lawyer.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be bored out of your mind. You're happy doing what you do.
I love what I do. I would just love to. I would love to be a fly on the wall, but I would love to be a fly on the wall, but wouldn't want to be a constitutional lawyer. It's just very interesting times to be a history buff. And last prediction is I think there are going to be more world conflicts erupting throughout the world right now because of inflation throughout the whole world and the lack of resources and lack of resources and also with the global change of weather right now.
I was about to say,
droughts and everything else. It's very, very interesting about how weather is going to play into all of this as well.
And it's quickening refugee crises in a lot of countries already. And right now they're knocking on the door of Ukraine and in Africa and Eritrea, there's big problems in China, Taiwan. So things could definitely, erupt. So those are your 7 predictions for the world and the economy. I had a question for you too. I'd love to get your opinion on. You talked about foreclosures and evictions. And of course you were right that so many people would have foreclosed and evicted because they couldn't pay their mortgage, except there was all these moratorium. And so people didn't have to. So like you said, it kept getting pushed down the road. What about with student loans? Because we just saw that it's extended again, I think through May 1st of 2022, where you don't have to make your federal student loan payments. So when do you think the bill is going to come due on student loans?
Because this is an election year, I really believe we're going to push it back until 2023. The reason being is the Democrats are going to win the young and educated to help them win the midterms. In order to do that, you're going to say, hey, we're pushed back the student loan crisis. We're not going to say they're going to be finalized, but we're going to hold our feet in the sand for this because we want the support of the young, educated, and also minority groups or usually have higher student loan debt than any other groups.
Interesting. Yeah, that's another great prediction too. So we'll see what happens in 2022. Hopefully you get some of them right, and hopefully you get some of them wrong for everyone's good. But thank you for your prediction. All right, Mr. Jason, now in the Cream Podcast, you're going to give a shout out to someone or something or some group who's really doing some great stuff in the world, in business, in the community. So who's your shout out to today?
Yeah, my shout out is to the Urban Financial Services Coalition. It's a group of financial advisors, insurance agent, wealth managers, bankers, and everybody in the financial services industry. They do three great things. One is to get more minorities in the financial services industry. They teach financial literacy in the community. And last but not least, they help more of them move up the corporate ladder or expand their practice, which is a great thing when we talked about leadership earlier on this episode. So shout out to the Urban Financial Services Coalition.
The UFSC doing some great things and helping a lot of people. So what's their website? Where can people find them?
UFSC.net.
There it is. Thanks, Jason. So Jason, now we have an important story that you're going to share with us from client or clients, one family. And this is so key because a lot of wealth is not passed down correctly from generation to generation. And a lot of it is siphoned off in taxes, goes to the government, it's wasted, ends up with attorneys and in the courts. So really having a proper generational wealth succession plan is key for any family. So share with us what you saw recently.
Yeah. So recently I worked with two sisters whose mother passed away in her 90s, and they're both retired. And what we did with them was we did a multi-generational planning where they weren't concerned about themselves. They said, we did okay in life, but we want to make sure our family is taken care of. They're doing great. Not just my kids, because they're adults now, they're okay, but for my grandkids and my great grandkids. So we met with them, and then we met with their kids, and we had great cocktails. We had a really good meeting, but we put together a multi-generational plan where they used some of the money that they got from the inheritance from their mother, or some of it was from their grandmother now. Mm-hmm. But what we did was we put together a multi-generational plan where they was able to control the money that they received and allow that money to grow, but they put rules on it. From even if they pass away, say what the money could be used for. Can't be used for cars and luxury goods or for girlfriends, but they used it for their grandkids to still dream and have options. So they used it for, they say the money can only be used for college and higher education. It can be used for starting their first business if they come up with a business plan. So they put together a plan and ideas to make sure that this money can stay within the family for multi-generations and possibly forever, doing a little Rockefeller plan of their own.
That's fascinating. And I love the name of it, Rockefeller plan. Gets people excited about working as a team within a family. So instead of fighting and bickering and courts and taxes and mismanagement, your money gets better and better as the generations grow and people get better off and have more options.
Exactly.
Jason, now we just wrapped up episode 7 of the Cream Podcast. It's amazing. We have 7 episodes already. And I just want to take a quick time here to thank you very much. I know you're a busy man. You do this out of love and because you care about people. You don't make any money on this podcast. In fact, you spend a lot of money, but you really want to get positive messages and education out to your clients, your audience, your friends, and the community. So we'd love to hear from others about what questions they have for Jason, about what topics they'd like to get some more education on, and just having a little bit of fun. So how should people get in touch with you, Jason?
Yeah, you guys can get in touch with me through my email, matthewsfinancial@gmail.com, or you can give me a call at 510-229-7608, or subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, or any other social media outlets.
There it is, the Cream Podcast. Jason, thanks again and have a great week.
You too, Norm.
Cream!
Dollar bills, y'all.
All right, now in the Cream Podcast, we're going to have part 2 of Jason's interview with Tory Brown and Julian Peebles of Common Ground Spirits. Thanks so much for listening.
Now, since you guys are new to the spirits industry, what's some of the biggest challenges, or what is the biggest challenges being new to the spirits industry and being two brothers who are new to the industry? What's that challenge? What's the biggest challenge you guys usually face or have faced? 'Cause I know there's a bunch of roadblocks on the road to riches.
Yeah, good question. I think I'll list a few and then Tory, you jump in, but I think breaking into the market is tough, right? We're new to the industry. Nobody knows, who we are. We're not coming in there with, a distributor or what have you. So I think really making the connections has been hard. That being said, I think we've done a good job in already having about 46 placements here in the greater Bay Area between San Francisco, Berkeley, Oakland, and Central Valley. Also just received our first placement up in Sacramento, and also having 3 placements out in the DC, Maryland area. So one challenge is like making the connections and making people believe in your spirit and knowing that you can deliver and getting them the taste, right? As a new spirit, they might say, oh, we already have a gin, but getting them to taste it and like it and understand, your story and where you're coming from, has been somewhat of a challenge, but I think we overcome it somewhat. I think the second biggest challenge I'm seeing is that, and this is probably across industries, not just in the spirits industry, as you look at, tech and other industries as well, is, minorities having access to capital to be able to build the brand has been a challenge as well. So looking at different options, but have not seen a door open in that direction that would allow us to get access to capital that could really help us accelerate and grow our brand in a meaningful way.
Yeah, I think Julian pretty much touched on I think the roadblocks we've been seeing, one, securing placement, like as he mentioned, being a black-owned business, it can work against you and it can also work for you. And we've witnessed both. So, as with any business, you got to roll with the punches. Never take no for an answer. We found in this industry, you have to be somewhat real persistent. Callbacks, replies are almost non-existent upon the first 5-10 tries. So, you have to be persistent and keep reaching out to them, and eventually they'll get back to you. We found that a lot of people in this industry seem to be really, really busy. So for all those out there, just be persistent. Don't stop. Keep knocking on doors. And I think Julian mentioned you're just getting people, to try it. Just like we mentioned earlier, as past experiences, people are a little afraid, a little hesitant.
I think the one great thing that we're having is that once we do have people try it, their eyes open up to the possibilities of what they could do with our gin. It's just getting to that step, as Tory mentioned. People seem to be real busy until they taste it and they're like, oh, can we get some of this? Or, oh, wow, this is, a lot different. We actually recently had a great experience with a friend of ours went to Barcelona, Spain, and took some of our gin over there as well. And the feedback she received on both gins was extraordinary. And, Spain is a big gin, country where, they enjoy their gin. And a lot of the feedback that she received from the people that taste our gin is just the newness, the freshness, the botanical forward, and just kind of a new take on gin was really refreshing for them to experience. So great to get feedback from people, of course, here in North America, but as we look to at some point expand, beyond our borders, it's great to get feedback from people internationally as well.
Yeah, good points. I like that. Were you about to say, Tory?
I was about to say, and just my close friends and family out there, hey, don't be hesitant. Get out there and get it. That's one of the issues as well. The challenges is getting your inner circle to get out there and buy. Support your black owned.
It's funny, man. Right now I'm here, with the bottle of the Black Currant Times, and I love it. And I keep it at the office. So at the evening time, I have shared it with other people, and I love the bottle, the texture of it. as well, along with both your guys' signatures, seeing you guys are the owners of the business, which is super dope. And also seeing you guys, I love just seeing your guys bottling. I had your drink at Mution Sports Lounge in Oakland, where I had to drink the Ricky Henderson. So if you haven't had it and you're in Oakland, you're watching the football game or to the Warriors game, go to Mution Sports Lounge and try the Ricky Henderson as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, we've come out with this, you know, with our line, just, you know, as Julian mentioned, you know, there's not a lot of us in this industry, so we're trying to give diversity and you know, any and everybody could buy it, but especially giving our people an opportunity to buy, you know, from a Black-owned business. So we need to support each other. Let's get out there and, you know, let's try to do that. That's it on that.
Yeah, definitely. What do you guys think that makes Common Grounds different than any other spirits that people might have tasted from your Seagrams? From your Seagrams or your Sapphire Blue Bombay gin. What makes you guys think different?
A good question. I think you know, for one, we're a small craft company right now, so there's a lot of hands-on love that goes into it. And so I think secondly, there's just our botanical profiles. You know, they're not your norm, right? Your basil and elderflower, your blackcurrant and thyme. You don't see those type of combinations out in the market. And so I think that's the main differentiation. That I say, you know, gin is gin. There's different botanicals that go into it, but yeah, these big conglomerates out there that you know, just to run in the mill, and we're just different. You know, we're craft. We're coming out with different taste profiles out of the norm, and people are getting different experiences, beautiful experiences from it that we've been getting feedback for. So if you want something different, give us a try.
Yeah, I mean, I just add, I think that we're different in that we're direct. And I don't want to, you know, disparage any other brands, but you know, some brands, you know, boast that they have 28 botanicals in their gin and things like that. And I think when you look at our labels and say, you know, blackcurrant and thyme or basil elderflower, we're direct in our approach and what we're saying. We're not trying to confuse you with, you know, 100 different botanicals. We're, you know, putting the essential things we need in our gin to deliver the flavor profile that we're trying to express and deliver it to our customers. So, you know, I think, as Tory mentioned, the craft part and also just being very direct in our approach.
Nice. And if somebody wants to support and learn more about Common Ground Spirits, how can they? Where can they find you guys?
As Julian mentioned, we're all throughout the Bay Area, probably 40 plus locations. Sacramento we're in now, trying to branch out down into LA. Hopefully we can get out there in the next month. We're in Maryland, DC. We're just signed a contract with a distributor out in Texas. So we should hopefully be starting to get distributed out there next year. And I mean, our website, you can purchase from our website. You can find all of our locations from our website. That's going to be the easiest way to find us at this point in time. But yeah, we're looking forward to a huge growth in 2022 with our new distribution deal in Texas, and we're hoping somewhere within the 22 year to get out to the Atlanta area as well.
Yeah, and also, you know, follow us on social media, you know, Instagram, you know, Facebook. Stay tuned with us there to find out where we are next and any events that we might be at as well. Love to meet, you know, people that are following us and supporting us in person as well. So, you know, please follow us on social media.
Yeah. Thank you guys. And quick, what's your guys' website? commongroundspirits.com or?
That's it, at commongroundspirits.com and Instagram at commongroundspirits.
Perfect. Thank you guys. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Tory, for coming on to the Cream Podcast, talking about Common Ground Spirits. I love their drink, the elderflower. I make it as mojito. I love it. I want to have these two guys on. real cool guys. They're doing some really dope things. It's unique to hear somebody doing something that we never out of the ordinary that we normally don't hear about. So I just want to say thank you guys again for getting on the podcast and coming on to the Cream podcast once again.
Well, thank you, Jason. Thanks for your support.
Yep. Thanks for having us. And yeah, Julian mentioned, thanks for your support, man. I know you've been supporting us from day one, man, with your functions and events and handing out, our bottles as gifts and whatnot from raffles. So really appreciate your support, man, and also your leads and contacts out there in the several different industries.
And I enjoy your cocktails. I'm supporting the most by drinking them while watching college football on Saturdays.
The way to do it.